Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're gonna take another look at SkateLab that I had already done a preview for last week. The problem was I hadn't played it back then, so I could only give you some details to the game, but not my opinion. And that's what we're gonna change today. So this is my full and honest SkateLab early access review after playing the game for about a week. And the question is, should you buy SkateLab or not? The answer, well, it depends. But let me start at the beginning. So first of all, SkateLab is a 100% physics-based game. Everything you do with your feet gets directly translated into board movement. And the board moves in the way it would do in real life. That gives you the most control you can have in a skateboarding game, but also comes with a very steep learning curve. The controls are similar to Skater XL and Session, so each of your foot is bound to one stick, and depending on how you move the stick and also how fast you move or flick it, your foot moves as well. If you have played a lot of Skater XL and Session lately, you will get the hang of this really quick, even though SkateLab reacts a lot more sensitive to your input compared to these two games. If you played more Skate or Riders Republic in the last few weeks, like I did, this whole process of getting used to the game and its controls will take a little bit longer. Same if you haven't played any skateboarding games at all lately. But when you take your time and start with small steps and don't give up, of course, you'll get there no matter how skilled or experienced you are. If you're easily frustrated with games though, or you are not very patient or get easily bored when you do things over and over again, I don't think SkateLab is for you. Because once you learn the basics, it will take all the rest of your playtime to master it. So basically like real life skateboarding. If you have the patience though and love to try things out over and over, you will always find something new in this game and always find something you want to try out, or a trick you want to do smoother, or a line that could be more clean. And that's what makes this game so addictive. Because even if you're struggling at the beginning, once you got your first trick or line down, it feels so much more rewarding than any other skateboarding game. I would even say this is the closest you can get to real life skateboarding while playing a video game. In terms of physics and also in terms of the feeling you have when you finally landed something. Even if it is your first kickflip or 50-50, everything will feel rewarding. Of course, it does help a lot when you know how skateboarding works in real life and how your foot positioning and movement needs to be for a certain trick, but this is also nothing that can't be learned. However, SkateLab doesn't have a Skatepedia or a trick library or anything where you can see how certain tricks work. There is a handful of videos on YouTube on the official channel of the game that you can directly access through the game's start page, but besides this you have to figure out everything by yourself or look it up online, so just like in real life. Or you join a multiplayer server, because these are existing as well, and simply skate with others and learn from them. Right now, SkateLab offers 4 maps. The first one is the one you start with, then there is this mini ramp right here, and a third an army that should be well known from other skateboarding games already. And the fourth map is Create and Skate, where you basically have your own skate park that you can design by yourself. There are several assets already that you can move around and also duplicate, but you cannot place new parts from a library or anything, at least not yet. However, what you can do is to change the scale of every object and also their shape. So you can really go crazy on this and create whatever you like. You can also grab the lights and place them at a different spot, or look around to see what you can find in the dark. In addition to these 4 maps, there are some more hidden ones that are not finished yet and are still work in progress, but to find them you should join the Discord server of the game and kindly ask how you get there. Link to the Discord is in the description below. Anyways, there is of course a lot more that SkateLab has to offer besides being hard to learn and hard to master. You can completely customize the appearance of your board from deck to grip and from trucks to wheels. Give every part a different color, even go as far as adjusting their vibrance and lighting. You can select different kinds of shoes and if you want to skate with socks or not. And for the wheels you can also select 3 different levels of hardness, which of course affects your skating. What you cannot do is to select the size and shape of your board, which might be a nice addition for a future update. And you cannot set the tightness of the trucks or change the hardness of the bushings, at least not from what I've seen. Please correct me if I'm wrong. What you can do, however, is to change a handful of stats, and I would definitely recommend to do this when you are getting into the game, because this can make a huge difference. So be sure to play around around with the pop, push and flick forces and all of the other stats until it feels good for you and fits your playstyle. At the moment, the UI still feels a bit fiddly at times and can be confusing, especially when you are in the pin dropper where you can freely move your board and then drop it wherever you like. And from there you also get to the object dropper, and through the object dropper you get to a menu where you can change the lighting on the map and enable or disable a day and night cycle. This is all in the game, but it's a bit hard to find at first. So be sure to take your time and read all of the instructions and the button mapping of the menus, otherwise you might get a little lost in there. But this is being worked on and will be improved in the future. The controls themselves are shown in the pause menu, which helps a lot. They're only shown for the Xbox controller though, but PlayStation works fine as well. Mouse and keyboard are not supported, not at all in the game, not even in the menu. And there are a few things that are not really mentioned control-wise. So what you should know is that when you press the two sticks, your feet will catch the board, but this also works for grinds. So depending on the grind or slide you want to do, you need to press and then hold the respective stick to lock in the grind. But this is not really mentioned in the controls. And this is also the only part of hand-holding, if you will, that you can find in the game. Everything else is completely up to you. The game also has a replay editor, of course, that allows you to go back and forth in your last few minutes of gameplay and change the camera angle, FOV and so on. You can also adjust the camera while you are skating, so there's a lot you can find in this game, and this is only early access. What the game doesn't have are missions, challenges, achievements or a storyline. It's really only a sandbox experience where you can skate around and do whatever you like. But honestly, this is everything the game needs, at least for now. I mean, I'm not saying no to a few challenges in the future, but this whole sandbox aspect is what makes this game so great and should stay its main focus. Of course, it doesn't have grab tricks or any others that would require hands, because you're obviously only a pair of shoes. But besides this, you have all the freedom you can get. Some tricks like tray flips still look a bit sketchy, and the grinds and slides can be a bit tricky to log in sometimes, but this is being worked on as well. And honestly, for me, this is not so much a game where I focus on skating realistically, even though you can if you want to, but instead it's more of a sandbox to mess around with the physics and do all the things that you won't be able to do in other games. If you take your time to learn SkateLab and its controls and conquer the very steep learning curve, you will have the best time you can possibly have in a skateboarding game. For me, personally, it's the best one you can buy for money at the moment, especially when you're looking for a realistic and challenging experience that feels incredibly rewarding. Just be aware that the game is very addictive and that you will easily spend a lot more time in it than you had originally planned. It comes at a price of $17, which is definitely fair. For me, it's a 9 out of 10 right now, since there are a few rough edges that need to be smoothed out and there is still room for improvements, but that's something that the developer is aware of, and he's a well-known modder for Skater XL, by the way. But since it only started into early access, I have no doubt that this room for improvements will be filled with more features, fixes, improvements and content in the future. And that was it for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like, and if you have any further questions, let me know in the comments below and I try to answer as many as possible. Until then, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!